Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Drew Davis, your host of Learn How to See Better, the only podcast out there that actually improves your vision the longer you listen. And I want to welcome you all back here today, and I thank you for joining me because we are here in the dog days of summer, and I actually want to touch on a topic called recharge and reset. And the reason for that is, it's those dog days of summer. It's mid-July. It's cooking here in Phoenix, Arizona. It's been, north of 110 degrees and it's hot. And everybody knows how that sun will just drain your energy out of you. And unless you're on vacation all summer, chances are you are, looking to get a few things done that are halfway productive. I am a fan of taking the summer vacation. We had an excellent summer vacation last year as we were gallivanting the world and getting some international travel going with the family, and that was fantastic. It was a great time for us to rest and reflect on the upcoming changes in our own world, which were even including bringing our third born son into the world, who's now here and quite healthy just about a year later. But as we transition and focus on our transition from a family to four to family of five, one of the big things that's important in our world is balance, right? We want to put the first things first and to give our family the appropriate amount of focus and attention that it needs as we attempt to regulate our ambition, because that is one of the tricky things that we've dealt with in the past, is being able to control how ambitious, how hard are you trying to push in business and with your other aspirations when you're taking on a family. And it's tricky. I know I struggled with that a little bit in corporate America, and I found myself being pulled in two separate directions. And it is one of those things that we have to find what is the right amount of give and go in our world. And the same goes for the summer, right? Is it all going to be playtime, or are we going to get some work done during that time frame as well, and have something that we can be proud of in the fall and the winter when we're going through the seasons? And so that's why I want to talk about resetting and recharging. As you may know, if you've been tuning in with me these last few episodes, as we work into the second half of the year, we're in the second half now, not the second quarter. So it's important to take stock of what's been taking place in your world these last 6 months, right? And so even that's what I've been doing here. I took a couple of days off from publishing just to do some of the same things: reset, recharge, reflect on the first half of the year, and just take a little of additional time to really make sure that I'm clear on what the first half of 2019 has been like for me and my family, so we can make sure that as we look to live the life of our dreams, that we're sticking to the script, right? That we're analyzing what our intents are and adjusting where it's necessary. Sometimes you can come out, you can come out into a new year, or you start off in a race or a battle, and you're just going crazy, throwing all kind of energy at this project. And what you may find is that you get, halfway through this contest, and you've maybe drifted a little bit off course. You've maybe not quite had the same reactions or results that you're expecting. So it's good to be able to go into the locker room at halftime and adjust and recalibrate, so that you can be set up for a major comeback. And I think one of the important things is that we do take that time to rest and reflect, because even if you're not building the good habit of reflecting, you've at least got to take that time out and rest so you can recharge the batteries. We're all human. We might work like machines, but I do feel that taking that time to get reset and to know yourself well enough to say, hey, I'm running low. I'm running out of steam. I need to plug in. I need to charge up. And that's going to be really important as we look through the year, because cyclically, people need about every 90 days or so the ability to plug into some sort of system that's going to be supportive of your goals. I'm actually going to be doing some travel next week. I'll be in Nashville, Tennessee, with a group of like-minded business individuals getting together for a little mastermind, which I'm really looking forward to, because that's one of the ways that I plug in. That's one of the ways that we plug in and get ourselves recharged, because we're around a group of ambitious individuals that they've also got high aspirations for what they want in life and in business. And it's just so comforting and so supporting to get around that kind of second family, so to speak. and really get a chance to see how's everyone been doing these last 90 days and what ways can we continue to hold one another accountable for the goals that we've set for ourselves, right? In one instances, do we need to give a little tough love to say, come on now, let's get it into gear. And so that's all the more reason you need to be recharged and reset to take that time to understand, okay, did I come into the second half down by a couple touchdowns and I need to stage a massive comeback? Or am I up and I got to make sure I don't blow this lead? Because even when you're winning, you don't want to let your foot off the gas. I think we've all seen that at some time in athletics, right? You got a team that's up in the second half and, they're playing not to lose. They stop playing to win. They start to play not to lose, and that becomes their fatal faux pas. And what happens is that the underdog, the team that's behind, they're hungrier, they want it more, they want it bad enough to keep pushing and capitalize on the opposition's every mistake until they're able to make it and take it. So how does that apply to us when we're not necessarily competing against the bad guy or another team? Well, it still plays true here, right? Because if you are constantly pumping the well, doing something to contribute towards your goals, what's going to happen is late in the game, you are your best friend, you are your best asset, right? Because you can look to those efforts and use those attempts that you've made to continually push forward. It's like deposits in the bank. Or a little extra gas in the tank, because that's what you recognize when you're tired and beat up and worn down, and you say, you know what, I've been here before. I got a little bit left in me. Let's go get this, right? And sometimes it's staying up just an extra 15 minutes. Sometimes it's getting up an hour early. Sometimes it's knowing when to decline the meeting for the family engagement. Sometimes it's knowing when you might have to, make a minimal sacrifice on quality time so that you can meet a major milestone on the business, and then have the opportunity to pay your family back with interest, right? So that you're not taking and not giving back. So when you look at recharging and resetting, it's one of the most important things you can do to get ready for the second half. Otherwise, people wouldn't take breaks at halftime. People would just keep on going, quarter after quarter after quarter after quarter. There wouldn't need to be a requirement for vacations from the job, because you can just keep working, right? So recharging and resetting, 12 months is a long time, but it goes by quick. And so it's important to keep our gas tank full. Never be too busy to stop for gas. You'll see how that one leaves you on the side of the road if you don't believe me. But this was just really meant to be a short motivational message to tell everybody, like, hey, let's go. Right? The first 6 months are down. We're past the summer solstice. So every day from here on out is shorter and shorter than the day before. Right? So I don't know if that really does much for us in Arizona just yet, because it's still going to be hot for a while. But knowing that each day is getting a little bit shorter, I like the sound of that. That means something good to me. That means 90-degree days are coming soon, and that's like paradise for us. So share what some of the things that you guys are facing. What are some of the things holding you back from having the second half that's even stronger than your first? Because I'd love to be able to try and tackle those challenges with you and give you some additional second half success strategies. I talked about that just a couple episodes back. So rewind and binge listen to a couple other good nuggets coming into the second half of the year to get your mindset on the right track. But in the meantime, go get a good night's sleep. Go get you some good nutrients for your mind. Go get around some good, positive, ambitious people, and charge up so we can finish strong in the second half. And I look to see you all at the end of the year celebrating from the mountaintop. Till then, have a great day, everyone. Thanks. Well, all right. That was some great content, wasn't it? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you liked it. This is your host, Drew Davis, and I want to thank you for listening to the Learn How to See Better podcast today. And don't forget to subscribe and tune in for future episodes, and be sure to share with a friend if you are enjoying this content. Thanks, and see you next time.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.